There you go, mate. It's them.
Alright, look, it can't be that easy. I've got to back up with numbers. And look, at the time of this recording, the world is still obsessed with Amazon. Yeah, I hope that changes. And the number I'm going to be leaning into is this, the reviews. I don't know, that's actually reaching a customer. It's not like a big, gigantic conglomeration buying 1 million of something just to put in call centers. 84,000 customers left a review about these JBLs. And mate, we're doing a world tour here and like starting off in America, San Jose. I mean, people love those JBLs. Oh, and look, straight away, Sony ZX series, the ones I just handed down, 110,000. Huge reviews, everyone's stoked. Keep scrolling down. Look, the original earpods, 18,000. Man, these JBLs are not far away. Man, Beats Solos, only 18,000. Yeah, the Beats Studio Pro, like 23,000. AirPods 4, 27,000. Back to the Sony's 110. People love this! Right, next stop, mate, Amazon.co.uk. 33,000 CH520. Sony, you can't name anything unless it's a PlayStation until you make it portable. Wow, the Anker sound cores at 40k. Videos? Whoa, the Anker Q30s. Mate, UK folks love them. Oh! ZX110s, 97,000. Across the pond, they're still mega popular. What else have we got? Soundcore Anker AirPod clones at 79,000. Canadian Amazon, 40,000 Soundcore Anchors, right? Baribis? I made heaps of Baribis. Wow, a lot of Soundcores. Oh, ZX110s, 90,000. What in bootleg stink are these? They're just called wireless earbuds 2025. Amazon France. Look, I had to use Google Translate to realize what headphones are called there. Contiers. Man, AirPods 4 at 12,000. Whoa, in-ear earbuds, 90,000 of the JBLs. Then the Sonys. Look at these wide ones. French edition. France is all about like isolating in-ears. France is my kind of listening space. I live for my in-ears. Kalims. And they're in-ears. This is sweet. Cabled in-ears. France! Oh, well, the ZX110s didn't appear. I guess they're not in-ears. But when I search for them, 72,000, and then like different variants, 6.5 thousand, 71,000, 14,000 of the pink ones. Amazon Germany. And right at the top, 74,000 ZX110s. I mean, what else? Like, come on, we gotta see sound cores, yeah, 41. In-ears, 21,000. CH720Ns. Such a bad name. Whoa, 80,000 of the in-ear clone AirPods of the Anchors. Lots of these Marshall Majors. Just know Marshall for selling out pretty hard. They made amplifiers. Ah, look, 91,000 on these in-ears. Europe loves the cabled in-ears. I love Europe. Amazon, Poland. Yeah, I really had to use Google Translate. Suchachi or something? Oh, my bloodline, my lineage. What are you after? Soundcore Anchors, mate, they're doing a world tour too. 86,000, 78,000. Wow, that's a nice color. I like them. Man, the 80s are back. Steel series, they look neat. These Marshalls, what's going on with these? I actually had to search these ones up, and then lo and behold, 74,000, 22,000. Is that 74,000.2 again? But then there's like slightly different variants that are also selling heaps. What does this add up to, like another 100,000 of these ZXs? Amazon.India. I mean, it's all in English for me. I am using a VPN. Hazabad? Boat with a capital A. Boat rockers. Whoa, Zebronics. Cool colors. I like that. 80,000. The rating's not amazing though. Get more boat rockers. Mickey Mouse looking in-ear buds. I like how the logo for boat is a boat. The capitals are just in the right places. I had to search up the ZX110s and ba-boom, like nearly 70,000 while not being on the front page. They're getting that many sales, nowhere near on the front page. I had to search for them. Amazon.com.au, in other words, the Aussie version, heading home for the last one. Man, we're not buying many AirPod 4s, or at least off Amazon. Oh, Aussies love the Tozos. 70,000 the Anchors. We're Baribi's people too. Oh, we love the bootleg looking AirPod things. In Australia, it's all divvied up. I mean, Amazon's poking at them saying, you better get them. 43,000 of that variant, 2,000 of that variant, 14,000 of this variant, another 11,000 of that one, 16,000 here, 15,000 of that. Like, there's so many sub variants over here. And look, scroll down here, 71,000 combined with what, this 43 and this like 10 over here. Insane. Look, the point I'm making is that all over the world, these are popular. In some places, they're the most popular. In others, they're like coming in second or third place. And if you add up all the variants, it adds up to a bazillion across the entire stinking planet.
I've actually had these for nearly 6 years now. Because when I was first taking headphones seriously, I knew I had to find what were people using, what is popular with everybody. And all those years ago, I was finding the most popular headphones, and they were still these. This whole time, they're hanging at the top. And crazy enough, these came out in 2015, a year before the first gen AirPods even came out. And you know what? I can see why these have been so popular for so long. They are cheap. I mean, they used to go for like $10, but nowadays they're about $15. Gotta love the inflation. And honestly, these are some of my favorite headphones that I own. For real. You know, because we're constantly looking for something good, but good is subjective. And this is like the public vote. Hundreds of thousands of people unanimously coming together to say, these are good. And to me, that's so important because it helps you stay grounded. Look, you see it in every single hobby, right? There's the hardcore, the people who've been in the longest and they've got all the crazy equipment, and they're usually the most miserable piles of people you could ever bump into. You know, people saying that the HT600s are no good because they own the 800s and therefore, oh, well, these are terrible now because I've sampled better. And just word-wise, every hobby's like this. From drums to cars to audio, it doesn't matter. There's always some rusted on gatekeepers who are so bored with the hobby that anything except for the most exceptional is terrible. Cue these. I really enjoy giving headphone tours, as I say, you know, where we just try a whole bunch of different headphones from like the lower end stuff all the way up to like the crazy Empyreans and whatnot. And these are the first headphones we listen to, which is my favorite because everyone puts these on and they go, oh wow, these sound great. Oh, mate, these are good. I mean, what do you get for $15 nowadays? I mean, they are, yeah. On your head, these actually do creak and groan like an old wooden ship, right? You put and all the little rattles and whatnot. And these ear pads feel like, you know, if you just pull them out of your bag too quick, that they're gonna rip. I mean, these are like 5-6 years old, although, you know, they've never had to do the grind of being pulled in and out of a school bag. They've done a few house moves, but nothing more than me just being like, well, time to leave this crappy rental, and we're out of here. You know, a lot of the real cheap AliExpress Temu headphones, you do that like 2 or 3 times and like a zip tie will go bzzzt and then never work again. For the cost, they're still here. They're still hanging out. And actually, it has a really nice cable. Like there's texturing to it. It's kind of like a noodle. And it ends in a gold-plated tip like Sony, mate. You're spoiling us. Although this tip's got like a lot of sprue and flash or whatever they call it. My stupid Sony camera will actually focus. iPhones are better at it. It's like, focus. So, yeah, they kind of cheaped out at that point, but you got to cheap out somewhere. And they are just ridiculously lightweight. And watch this. They fold up like it's nothing. You know, there you go. And you can just slip in your school bag or whatever. I don't find them particularly comfortable. You can see like the ear cup depth. Like, it's just flat against your ears. And yeah, there's no padding here, so it just rests right up against your head. But they're so lightweight, that's not a big deal. You know, and I actually don't like the double cable business coming out of it. I think it's easier when it's just coming out of one. It's just less tangly on you. But they swivel, which matters, because yeah, our ears don't face outwards. They point slightly, you know, forwards like this. These accommodate that. So, you know, they actually do fit. Before we can get into the philosophy of how these sound for the money, mate, we got to record them. Oh, mate, we've got the Herdo 600s by old mate Senny. We've got the freakish ears on a stand, which is kind of becoming a problem. We'll talk about in a second. headphone comparison that really reveals kind of the weakness of the ears. Headphones aren't just about, it does have more bass versus more treble. Is it V sounding? There's soundstage and imaging. Soundstage is how big they feel when you're wearing them. It's almost like you're sitting in a listening room when you pop them on, and it's how big is that room that you're in? How far away does it sound like it's coming from? Look, I've been playing with some Headphone 800Ss, and they are so maniacally huge sounding. And then imaging is the ability to pinpoint where the sound is coming from. Vocals coming straight from in front. Then you can hear the guitarist is just right there. You can hear the hi-hats are over there. The crashes are all around. The ears, they don't really do a lot for that. It really just kind of simplifies the experience to just, how much bass and how much treble. Mind you, the Headphone 600s aren't particularly wide. They're quite cozy. These have pretty crap imaging. Like, it's almost just basically left and right. And they're like pretty close into you. It's almost like it's coming from the inside of your head. And, they're quite bassy, with the top end being quite dark. But the problem with the bass on these is that they're quite slow. To kind of explain that, these are dynamic drivers, the speakers that's inside of them. It's literally a piece of plastic, right? And all the sound comes out of that one piece of plastic. It's magic. I think it's amazing. But the low notes, the bass, sub-bass, right, are big movements from the speaker, because bass has like the biggest, widest waves in audio. So while it's making these big bass notes, in between, it's doing the mids and upper. It's crazy. It all comes out of one piece of plastic or paper. But when headphones have slow bass, it's kind of like a spring going and then returning to still. And so bass notes are hitting, and it's taking a while for that to slow down to be still again. It's not really the right way to put it, but it's almost like the bass has like a little bit of bleed out. It's like just is an aura around it. I drew this up forever ago. Imagine a kick drum that's got that real bite to it. It goes like boof. With fast headphones, you can actually feel this as almost like it's boom, it's hitting your eardrums. Not in a painful way, but you can feel the slap of the air, and then it finishes off. But when it's a bit slower, it's like this. You don't have this lovely peak that's like tickling your eardrums. It all just turns into my favorite fast-paced testing song is Noah's Time Traveler. That track's moving so quick with like samples and bass that's going whoop and being like controlled and bend and I love it. It's when planar magnetic headphones just start to dazzle. They're so quick. Yeah, these aren't quick. Combined with the kind of crappy soundstage and the pretty lame imaging, if really high-end open-back headphones are a big spacious room where you can pinpoint, these are kind of like this. But as you heard from the recording, you're not missing anything, right? You take all that out of the equation. As you heard, you can hear the bass, you can hear the piano, you can hear the cymbal. It's all there. Headphone 600s aren't known for being particularly wide and all that, but I swear, in person, it's a huge difference. But the hears, man, it really just kind of leveled it off. Maybe it's time I replace the hears, but I don't know if that's actually going to fix the problem. I really think it's just what happens when you record headphones and then play them out of your smart fridge or something, But that's the absolute review, right? Comparing to literally every other headphones ever made. Let's compare it to its actual competition. What are these trying to defeat? Who are they actually going to battle with? Your laptop speakers? Your phone speakers? Mate, your dirty buds. These cost less than Apple EarPods, and these thrash them. These are so much better than your laptop speakers. These are so much better than your monitor speakers. These are so much better than using little dirty buds. In its league, in its weight class, these are romper stompers. All the reviews make absolute sense. Man, for 10-15 bucks, you get the reliability of a cable, no batteries, no syncing. They're big enough to fit on people's heads. I have a big fat head, and these fit comfortably. In fact, I have to rein them in slightly That's crazy for me. If I'm wearing Order Z LCD 2s, they have to be at maximum extension and they just fit my head. And look, and you know, to all the people who've got FOMO about, you know, having crazy sets of headphones, there's an annoying human trait that we can't escape, and it's that we just get used to stuff. What was amazing becomes normal. Your brand new shoes are now just your shoes. That new phone that you desperately put in a case and not let get scratched, now you're just chucking around because you just get used to it. And it's why the hardcore get as vicious as they do. When you get used to Ferraris, when you get used to Empyreans, and there's no other thing, you get grumpy because this hobby that you love is no longer tickling you. And, you know, anytime I put these on, which is often, after 45 minutes, I forget I'm wearing them. They just sound like your headphones. And it's a human trait that works better on the low end than the high end. You don't want to get used to your $5,000 headphones. You don't want them just to sound normal. But mate, you absolutely want your 10, 15 buck goers to just sound like, oh, I'm wearing my headphones and it's good. I gotta say, when those Empyreans go back on, it's, oh, and it's why they're my favorite. And again, like when having friends come over and they put these on, they go, oh man, these sound great. No wonder why everyone's buying them. And after the whole fleet of headphones have been on, and at the very end I go, oi mate, put these back on. Tell me what you think. Honestly, everyone scrunches their face. They go, ooh. Ooh, where'd the soundstage go? Ooh, it's all crushed together. Oh, yuck. There's no detail on the top end. Ah, yeah. And I go, but you said they sounded good. This huge conundrum is fighting inside of their brain like, I did say I like these. And then it's fun because I can tease them being like, you're now an audiophile. My set are 5-6 years old. They've been making them for over 10 years. And it just might be one of those sets of headphones that ain't going anywhere. It's a freaking awesome price. It's a brand that's trusted. You can pick them up anywhere. And honestly, any is looking to get into headphones and where you got a whole bunch of sets and you love like trying them out and flipping them about, I think you need to have a set of these. This is just the great leveler. It's like, this is good. Hundreds of thousands of people agree. For the price and the money, what a goer. Technically crap, but technically amazing. You've done it again, Sony. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Huge thanks to these names scrolling across here. They're my biggest float planners. Like, thank you so much. That's where all my extra content is. That's the best place I can put it without it ruining my channel. It is $2.80 a month, and it helps out massively. You know, I'm eating snacks. There's some Frank there. There's all my other stuff that I do. And you know what, mate? I'll smell these all next time, eh?
We appreciate that Frank's tail looks like a strange sidekick. Frank, you're a team now. And Snoot and Poop. Frank, she's been like this for a while.